We're good.
So this is Councilor Bill Psalms. I'm calling this regular meeting of the Ledyard Town Council Finance Committee to order. Present are Councilors Ingalls and Ryan, members of the committee, along with Kathy Demetrius, Mayor Fred Allen. Kathy is the tax collector and administrative assistant Roxanne Marr, as well as Finance Director Marcia Hancock. I don't think we have any citizens' comments. If anybody wishes to speak, please do. I have no informational items, and I would accept a motion for review and approval of the prior meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, corrections?
No.
They look good. All in favor, please say aye.
Councilor
Aye.
Ingalls votes aye.
Councilor Ryan votes aye.
And Councilor Psalms votes aye. Motion passes.
Bill, do you still want, I mean, so way back a year ago when we started the online meetings, we were trying to be so careful about saying our names in case anybody was listening. And
Yeah,
do you still want us to do that? I'm asking really for Tim's sake.
yeah, I'm still doing it. I think
Roxanne's nodding her head yes. Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
The policy that you adopted said that you would do that.
Okay. There you go, Tim.
Yeah, she's keeping you on the straight and narrow there. Look at that. The policy you adopted.
That's right. Remember that?
I like
The
that.
policy the council adopted.
okay, Marcia, got anything for us? You're mute.
I am unmuted now.
Awesome.
I really don't have anything to report beyond what is in the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Roxanne, Tom Malone's name is still showing up in iCompass. So
Yeah,
pardon me?
I'm trying to get him out. I'm working on it. We're
Okay.
trying to get him out.
So
If
just
we
so you
know
know,
he's
I'll say Tom is Tim.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Thanks.
Okay.
I'm still working on correcting that.
Got it.
Doesn't want to take it.
Thank you. Okay, we have no old business. Let's move on to the agenda item for new business. Does anybody need to amend the agenda? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion for the first item.
So moved. Councilor Ryan.
Councilor
your
Ingalls
mute.
seconds. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so I'm going to just read it out loud, Tim, because we do this for the record if anybody needs to listen to the file. So the motion on the table is to transfer tax accounts in the amount of $47,298.93 listed in the report dated May 25, 2021 to the suspense file. In addition, authorize the transfer of non-refundable overpayments in the amount of $830.95 to the general fund listed in the report dated May 25, 21. So this is something we do every year. These are tax amounts that have been deemed uncollectible. It doesn't mean we won't continue to collect them. We just have to get them off the books because they go back, I think, 5 years,
Right.
2016. So except for the deceased parties, these accounts will be turned over to a collector and we'll continue to try to collect them. So
Out of curiosity, once they go to collections, what do we normally see at that point? Is there a percentage?
I don't know the answer to that. Kathy, do you?
Yeah, you know what? I offhand don't have a percentage. If I could take a look at that for you. We just got a new collection agency. They started with us 3 weeks ago today. As of today, we've brought in over $17,000 of
Whoa.
taxes that have been in suspense. Some of them going back to 2006.
That's so
Who's the new agency?
interesting.
It's called TaxServe.
Okay,
And they actually were recommended by quite a few of the municipalities in Connecticut with the Tax Collectors Association.
excellent.
So I recently just made the change. We had the same collection agency for about 11 years. And we've collected more in the last 3 weeks than we've collected in probably close to a year.
Wow.
Wow. I'm so glad I
We're pretty
asked.
hopeful.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't expect to hear that at all. That's really good news.
So, question, in the suspense file, I'm assuming this is additive. In other words, I think and I don't, I'm trying to get it up right now, but if I recall from reading earlier, I believe that the number last year that was moved to the suspense file was something around $65,000.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is additive in nature, meaning that it's 65 from last year, we're adding 47 this year, minus whatever we were able to collect, right?
Yes, Kathy's now.
So, and it stays in there for a period of how long? You said 15 years?
15 years.
And
Yes,
then we write,
collectible-
and then we, sorry, I'm sorry.
Collectible for 15 years.
And then it gets written off if it's not collected?
So Marcia, you're right, these get written off on the finance side, correct? Until we bring the money back in. They're not written off on my records.
Okay. I was just curious how it was handled from an accounting perspective. So,
Marcia, you're mute.
no.
That's because I was talking to Ian,
Oh, sorry.
asking if he knows.
Yes,
Yes,
but at the end of the year, I make a journal entry from Kathy's report that shows what is outstanding liability for tax collection, and that's only for the most recent past 15 years.
could you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So,
every year there's an adjustment entry.
There's an adjustment entry every year.
for
Gotcha.
liability. And then
So-
deferred revenue.
Out of curiosity and more just for my edification, what is the current balance of that suspense file right now? Total? Like how much outstanding do we have that we're carrying current?
In suspense or total.
I would say in suspense, right? Because we're
Yeah.
transferring it into suspense, so.
We can, we'll email that amount to
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
committee.
I was just curious.
That's a good question, yeah.
It's a great question.
It is.
Because I mean, we keep adding to it every year and just doing the Radcon math in my head, I'm saying you collected 17, which is great. And then, but we're adding 47. So I mean, we're adding more than we take away, but hey, listen, collecting any of outstanding taxes is great news because that usually is not the case. So,
And our collection rate is very good.
yeah, good. All right.
What was it?
I'm-
Was it 98% this year?
Yeah, before they go into this state, before they be deemed uncollectible, the collection rate on all taxes is 99 point, what was it? 4?
Oh, we're at 99.2 or 99.4.
Yeah,
That's how much we collect back.
No.
Yeah.
but
not,
we
not on, not on the
out of all
suspense
our
file, but
taxpayers, yeah, out of all our taxpayers, we collect 99
Oh.
overall is, and then what's uncollected at that point is what's in that suspense file, which represents the last 6/8 of 1% of taxpayers.
Okay. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
thank you, Tim. Good question.
I'm trying not to slow down the meeting, but
That's all right.
Good stuff.
Any other questions, comments? Ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Counselor Ingalls votes aye.
Sorry. Counselor Ryan votes aye.
Councilor Thomas votes aye. Motion passes. Next item, please.
I make a motion to approve standing bid waivers as follows. Vendors included in the Ledyard standing bid waiver list for fiscal 2022 attached. Capital Region Purchasing Council bids, State of Connecticut bids, other states bids, and federal government bids.
Is there a second?
Second.
So we went through this list a number of years ago, about 10 years ago, and really trimmed it down. So every year we look at it again. We're required to look at it and vote on it. I did. It appears to me that all of the bidders that are, or the suppliers that are on there are, for one reason or another, vendors that we want to keep. So for example, Munis Software, the company that provides that, we don't want to put that out to bid every year or every few years because we're so locked into Munis Software, as well as we are with Walsh Company and a few other ones. Morton Salt, we get a better deal. We did not have a salt shortage this summer. this winter, as many other people encountered. So this list looks pretty good to me. Always looking for one to take off, and I did not find one.
So if I could, I looked at this from a perspective that, so I work where I work at EB. I have to deal with suppliers all the time.
Sure.
We are required to execute singular sole source justifications every time we want to go with a single supplier. And I understand that in certain cases, obviously, and it should be easy, right? You've got a column in this list that says reason, right? And as I went down the list, there were some that were listed that, okay, this is the sole source, this is the only supplier, that we have a multi-year contract, et cetera, et cetera. And there were some in there where the reason wasn't as explicit. And I was just curious if this table may not be the end all be all of how we select these particular suppliers. So I'm assuming there's data to back it up, but I guess that's my question, is that, for example, under police, and I'm just picking on them only because I happen to be looking at that right now. For the in-car video system, it says WatchGuard video for purchase and maintenance of system. So, I mean, that's not a reason, that's a statement. So are there reasons behind this why we're going with WatchGuard video, for example, that just might not be in this table?
Yes.
Okay.
They are, WatchGuard is the one company in the state that provides in-car video systems and that the state uses. But you bring up a good point. Before this goes to council next week, I will add in those type of, make sure it's more consistent.
Again, not trying to overdo it here. And I'm definitely not going through every single thing and asking. It was just, I assumed, and I just wanted the verification that my assumption was correct, that there was additional data behind this, and you've said that, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's more of a over time. A lot of these vendors we've used a lot, and so we fall into the shorthand, because the same people are approving this list every year.
Right.
But you're right. But it brings up the point that if somebody from the public was looking at this, they wouldn't understand all of the shorthand. So for our own purposes and historical recording, I would like to go through and do that.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Some of it that's helpful, and just in the WatchGuard case too, let's say we have 9 cruisers that have WatchGuard in it. We can't really go out and say, well, we're going to put Axon in the next 2 cars, and now we have compatibility issues with the platforms and how data is uploaded and video and everything else. So sometimes it's consistency with the product. Once we have a platform in a vehicle, we want to try to keep that consistent too, as an example.
You mean vendors intentionally use proprietary infrastructure?
Yeah, right, exactly.
No.
Yeah, we learned that with Simplex.
So anyway, thank you very much.
Sure. Any other questions, comments? Ready to vote? All in favor, please say aye.
Counselor Ingalls votes aye.
Counselor Ryan votes aye.
Counselor Solomon votes aye, and the motion passes. Thank you very much. Good questions again. Next item, please.
Where are we? Number 3. I make a motion to authorize the mayor to submit a cable television advisory CTA CSC grant application in the amount of up to $3,500 to purchase technology equipment to improve the broadcasting of meetings.
Second.
Thank you. So Roxanne was just telling me a little of the history on this one. One of the things so first of all, there are no matching funds required for this grant. We always pay attention to how much is involved, how much the town is involved in paying for a grant. In this case, it's 0. We have used these funds in the past, and when we made the transition to online meetings and camera recordings and speaker systems to record video and audio, Roxanne was instrumental in getting us equipment using this grant. This year, we want to upgrade our cameras so we can have a wide angle camera for the council meetings, which will help to hybridize meetings if we have counselors in person and counselors remote, and other participants as well. Also, I think I saw some new speaker systems in there, and a replacement speakerphone for the old speakerphone that we had, which was not a VoIP phone and is not compatible with the current Mitel phone system. So there's a plan. The money is offered to us as a grant, and it's been very helpful in the past. Comments, questions?
Yeah, I'll just add one thing. So the cameras, these Jabra cameras, basically have 5 cameras that spread out. It's a I don't know how to describe the size of this little device. It's a small device that goes on the wall that's just Bluetooth, and it will take, so as an example, if we put it at the back of the council chambers, it will capture everybody in the room. So if we have seating lined up again out there, it will capture all of that and all of the counselors. So we get a broader view. So the nice part is, as you know, Justin, when he would do the filming, would pan across the council. Wouldn't have to do that anymore. It would just have the entire room. And then the Jabra microphone / speaker system, I think, will be a huge improvement too. Roxanne did this grant last in 2013, so it's hard to believe, but we're going on 10 years old for this technology. And what Roxanne had a great idea of doubling it up to allow the same type of technology, or exact same technology, in the annex meeting room, so that if we want to broadcast finance committee meetings, land use meetings, or any other meeting that we have in there, we can do so, or we can record them and upload them to YouTube or whatever we want. Excellent. So I think it's a good grant. CTask is eagerly looking for our application, and as you alluded to, there is no match. Really, the only in-kind that we have on this is MIS setting it up and configuring it. That's it.
Good deal. Questions? Okay. Marcia, you talking to us? No. Okay. You guys
No,
ready to vote?
sorry.
Mhm.
Sorry.
That's
Are we interrupting you, Marcia?
Ian and I are discussing agenda items.
all in favor, please say aye.
Counselor Ingalls votes aye.
Councilor Ryan votes aye.
Councilor Collins votes aye. The motion passes. Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Tim, would you like to take the next one?
Sure.
We're on
I
number
move
4.
to, yeah, we're on agenda item 4. I move to restate the certified resolution of application, Small Cities Program, Kings Corner Manor, Senior Housing, as adopted on March 11th, 2020.
Counselor Ingalls seconds.
So this is just a restate. We've already approved application for this, and because a year has gone by, they've asked us to restate our commitment. So a mere formality.
Right.
Tim, just for your information, this you heard some of the discussion about Kings Corner Manor at the council meeting. We're applying for up to $1.5 million to replace windows, increase air and heating efficiency, install a heat pump to replace some of the heat provided by baseboard, which is exorbitantly expensive. And this is the grant that we talked about last week.
Right.
This is one of 2, so we're hoping for more money on top of this. So all in favor, please say aye.
Counselor Ingalls votes aye.
Councilor Ryan votes aye.
As does Councilor Solomon, the motion passes. Thank you very much. And the next item, please.
I make a motion to set a 33.72 mill rate for the fiscal year 2021, 2022.
Second.
Thank you. So this is exactly what we presented at the town meeting and the public hearing. Well, no, actually at the town meeting. No change from what the voters approved. The voters approved the budget, but the town council sets the mill rate before the last Monday in June, because we could be getting different information on revenue forecasts and other things. So the final calculation is done. The mill rate hasn't changed. It's exactly what was presented to the voters. Anything to add to that, Marcia?
No, that's completely accurate.
Bill, can I add one quick thing?
Sure, Mayor.
So I just confirmed today with Senator Austin, who's very close to the budget, as you know. She has indicated that there is no anticipation of any changes in revenues to the town. She said that the rainy day fund is actually at a statutory maximum right now of 15%. They're putting over $1 billion into their pension obligations. So it sounds like this budget will bode well for the town of Ledyard for hopefully the next 2 years. But one thing I did want to point out, just in regards to setting that mill rate, the sooner the better. The reason was that it's good for the vendor because we do use an outside source to do those bills. That's one thing, but it's also really important for Kathy in our tax collection office and Adriana, because they test the data and they actually test all the data to make sure that it is accurate before it goes out. But last, but certainly not least, and probably could be first, is that the sooner that we can get the bills out, the more time that gives the taxpayers to prepare for what's probably one of the second biggest payments of their year. If they don't have their taxes escrowed, it gives them more time, understanding that a July 1 bill, kind of has to be in by July 30th, but it gives them a little bit more time to prepare for a big expense. So I commend you that it gets moved forward in a timely manner.
Thank you, Mayor. Good explanation and good reason.
I want to add something. This is a little bit of a rabbit trail, but Mayor, you just said something that triggered a memory. Every year we hear the frustration in the comments that the tax bills go out and they say that they're due July 1, but they're not mailed. So it is a confusing thing. And I remember feeling that confusion when I first got my tax bill and it was already due before it was even mailed to me. Is there something we can do to get in front of that with communicating out? I don't know. Can we get in front of that?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I know exactly what you're saying, and you're right. That's one of the reasons why I hate to see it go right to the end of June, because by the time the data gets all tested and then the vendor does send them out, in some cases, people could literally get the bill a day or two before July 1st with a bill saying, this bill is due July 1st.
Right.
The agita just blows up with people, and rightfully so. So we try to do it a little sooner. I don't know, Kathy, you might be able to, I know we have talked to the vendor before about highlighting different things. So maybe there's something in there that we could say on, this bill is due and payable July 1st, but without penalty until such and such a date. Maybe that helps.
Yep, so this year I asked him if there's a box underneath the due date that says when interest will begin. I've highlighted that and I've asked him if possible to put it in bold. The problem is that the constraints of the size of the paper and having the 3 coupons, we can't blow up too much more on that paper. Otherwise, they won't be able to read the MICA line for the lockbox if people use lockbox. So I did ask them to put it in a different color this year to make it jump off the page a little bit better. And I'm hoping that'll work. The other thing too is that once I get the data to the printer, it takes at least 2 solid weeks. I have to give him an estimate of a date when I expect to send that data to him. And what happens that if I don't meet that date, I then start slipping behind other municipalities that are having their bills also run at the same time because everybody's trying to get them out. for the same July 1st due date.
So scenario, let's say they receive the tax bill on July 1st and it's due July 1st. They have a certain number of days to pay it, even though it says it's due July 1st. And is that 30 days?
30 days.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's the message that I think we have to communicate in other ways as well, that I'm just talking about, because I remember hearing that people say, hey, what's this? And then we tell them it's, it says July 1st, but you have 30 days, which is confusing, but getting that second piece of the message out, I think is really important.
I think
Right,
if
so
you,
really, it's kind of like the question to me is sort of like, well, then why doesn't it say it's due July 30th?
it's much like mortgage payments or credit card payments. They give you a date due and then they say when.
It's a
uh,
grace period.
When the grace period ends and you start paying interest on it. So maybe if like on social media and at the council meeting, if you equate it to other bills that, this is when it is payable, but it's payable for the whole month, essentially, before you have to pay interest. And I think it's actually, what, Kathy, August 2nd this year or August 1st? Is the last day.
August 1st. So that'll make it exactly, the 30 days, because we're here on, hold on, just double checking my calendar.
Yeah,
Yep.
August, it's a Monday.
Actually, no, this year, actually, it's gonna be, August 2nd, sorry.
So utilities do the same thing. You
Yeah.
get your wireless phone bill, you get your electric bill, they all do the same thing. So maybe we can communicate that too. It's the
Yep.
nature of the
So,
business.
Finance Chairman, you can put that on Facebook and we'll just like it.
Got it.
Exactly.
Do that.
I'm not gonna like anything about taxes, sorry.
You guys ready to vote?
Yes, sir.
All in favor, please say aye.
Counselor Ingalls votes aye.
Counselor Ryan votes aye.
Counselor Sullivan votes aye. The motion passes. And that was our last item. Thank you very much.
Andra, actually, I think you should do I love it. So when it's time to pay your taxes, don't just do the thumbs up, but do the love, the heart.
Do like 2 or 3 hearts. Some people know how to do that. I don't get it.
Put hearts and then pictures of our lovely roads and trash trucks.
This is warped.
Yep. I think we better adjourn.
Yes,
This is pattern.
So moved.
right.
We are adjourned at 5:28 without exception. Have a good evening.
All right. Good night,
All
everyone.
right, take care.
See you at the farmer's market. They've already had over 600 people.
Wow.
Yay!
Actually,